All right. So first of all, I would go back here, and I would stick to this structure. There is a kind of this is the what they've asked us to do, and I would take it in this order because it kind of makes sense. So the first thing to do is to analyze the key ideas. So it's like an introductory thing. So like I decided I'd make a film about a guy who's sort of lost and he doesn't have much purpose in life, and I wanted to develop the idea of a single character through 4.5 minutes. You could talk about other films, like you say, oh, I'm really interested in, I don't know, Forrest Gump, whatever, I don't know whether other films, not the short films, in describing
I
how
mentioned Pulp Fiction.
In describing how
So I just had a little
okay, so
chapters and stuff.
that's fine. Okay, but you need that at the beginning. That
so just the order at the minute is
yeah. So what you haven't done is that. Okay, so what you need to do is have that. Start with that. Okay. Then you're going into exactly what you've done, which is this how it was influenced. Then you go into that, which is where your Pulp Fiction thing is saying in comparison with other films. I mean, when it says in comparison with other films, it doesn't mean like you have to refer every single bit to another film. It means film language. How does your film create meaning and generate response by using close-ups, mise-en-scène, whatever it might be? Okay, it just means other films, like how other films work. It doesn't mean this film. Okay. We're doing okay. We need more words. Here you need to say is what Barthes would call an enigma code or an enigma, just to get his name in there to give you some more marks.
Okay.
That's certain with an E. With this first, the short film inspired mine. Because I have similar themes in it to produce my film, I don't really like that. I would just say this in this short film inspired the narrative of what's your film called?
Boredom.
I'm just trying to think how you started out. And it's yours is a film, so yours goes in italics. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's have a new paragraph there. Palette is always a weird spelling. It's one L and two T's. Yes, good. Yeah. God, Lois is just on the fringes of being socialized for school.
Honestly.
When you say a silent film, you mean a film without dialogue?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say a film without dialogue.
Fine. Yeah. Okay.
Isn't that what you mean?
Yeah. There's no external dialogue. It's just like that's what like there's sound. It's not a silent film. Like fair enough. It's because there's like diegetic sound.
Yeah. So let's say a film with little or no dialogue or something like that. Yeah. That my protagonist, instead of he.
Yeah.
Chapter title cards.
Yeah, I was wondering what to use there.
Yeah, title cards is what they're usually called.
Okay.
I'm sure that's the right verb. Maybe something like to give some structure to his non-linear narrative. Okay. Yeah. If we're going to be modest, we'd say should lead. The lack of explicit dialogue should lead the audience to actively guess. Yeah. Don't need a capital C there. Yeah, it's fine. Where did you get this word from? From the mark scheme?
No, I think Miss told me to use it in media. For the media one, so I just thought I'd carry it over.
So rather than say that, I would say the first. Don't say edited because everything is. First sequence of my film relies on editing or relies on. Relies heavily on editing. Yeah. As the speed of each cut matches the music in order to create a more flowing feel to the sequence. When you say this transition, what do you mean? Which transition?
So that's the transition there. So that's the first.
So okay, so you need to. What is that transition called?
I've no idea.
How did you get there? Where did you find it?
It's literally, I think it's just a preset on Premiere Elements.
So why doesn't it have a name?
It does. I just don't know what I think it's called. Like it's like ice, fire, or something like that. Yeah, it's a transition. It's not in Dissolve. This will be one of the
blurry ones.
Yeah, I think these ones up here. It's these three. That one. So metallic copper.
So then name it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So say I used a metallic copper transition from which I found in Premiere Elements, as I wanted to show a jumpy and scattered lifestyle.
Okay. Fine. Yeah.
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 So I wanted to connote. I wanted to suggest, and this is here. What I was saying to Megan, and I think it might be useful. These kind of verbs that we used when we were analysing Winter's Bone, I wanted to suggest, I hope to provoke in the audience, this scene should trigger, yeah? If I just give you those words, when you're analysing what you've done, just at the end here, then you're using the right words to kind of explain your intentions for the audience, So the mistake that lots of people make is just it shows, but no, it doesn't. What they want you to analyze, if we go back to this, if I I can get the right. How it creates meanings and generates responses. Yeah. So you create meanings by suggesting, provoking, generating, inspiring, triggering, making them feel, transmitting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So use those kinds of words.
Okay.
And again, this should lead the audience to infer.
Okay.
This should, putting the conditional in there just means like,
it doesn't have to, but that's what it's meant to
no,
be.
and you're being kind of modest there. Is quite a nice thing nice way of doing it. Or you can say my intention was, because you can't definitely, Quentin Tarantino might say I did this to the audience, but any other filmmaker would say this is what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Geez, if you're going to analyze it in this much detail, you're going to run out of words, but fine.
That's what I was planning. I mean, I was only at 600 and I thought I want to just get as much.
Fine. Yeah.
I wasn't going to do it with every scene, but every...
No. I mean, the one thing I would say is choose the good bits.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Just choose the bits that you're particularly happy with.
Yeah.
Make sure you've got a bit of sound in there as well as...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Can I do a lot on sound?
Fine. And do mention mise en scène, though, because, I mean, you've got some really... The settings at the end, the countryside bit at the end, is mise en scène is very significant there. And I think you should just talk about how there should be a kind of synthesis between where he finds himself and how he finds himself. Yeah. And it's almost like the pathetic fallacy, isn't it? The sun is shining and therefore
he's happy.
Yeah. Great. Good. Keep going. So what I'll do is I'll save. Oh, what happened there? Oh no, I don't like that. Oh, we got a word. Okay.